How's it going, everybody?
What's going on?
Things are a little bit different here. Ran a little bit long, but we were here in California, Maryland. You can't see me on the screen. I'm sorry. There we are. California, Maryland, and we just did the opening of the supercharger. Oh, the camera's over here on this one, so I'm on the iPad, and got my microphone, and we're here with Dan and Marcus. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing good.
Afternoon.
Doing good.
Yes. Sorry for the delay. I was rushing along. Got my food to go, but there were 40 people there from the Tesla Club, so it was
A meetup.
yeah. So it was a little bit harder for them to do the get all the orders and stuff together. So yeah. Okay, there we go. So sorry about the sound in the background.
Nobody heard it.
Oh, they can't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Like the wind?
That's normal. You're on the road.
Yeah, that's true. So I've got my topic list here. Normally I have it like where I can share it with y'all, but let's see what we can work out here. Dan and Marcus, you guys should be able to have the list from our document. I don't know if you can bring up the articles as we share them, and so they can see what we're talking about on the screen.
The document.
Yeah. All right, so the first item was that the Model 3 price in Australia has been lowered, unlike all of the other Tesla prices, which have been going up for the last, however long has it been? Like, all this year it's been going up, what, $500, $5,000 a month?
Yeah.
So that was something I found to be interesting. And we got a couple of viewers from Australia. So if you were interested in Model 3, then there you go. Also, I think that the Model Y orders have started, so that's good too. Model S Plaid drag strip tests show alien tech performance and incredible consistency. That was over at Tesla Radi, I believe. So basically, they were trying to say that that everything was very repeatable when they did the launches for the Plaid. Like even at lower states of charge, it would just constantly it's like a robot. You told it what to do, and it would do it. Like unlike my Model X, after a while it gets tired. It's like, oh, I can't do this again. Let me cool down. And especially if you take it on the track, not just the drag strip, but if you take it to the track, I can get 2 to 3 laps in of the track I took it on before it just wants to cool off a little bit. And Marcus can speak to that.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still waiting on mines as we can actually, I can play with, do a little bit more, digging into mines. But we was just, I've been seeing a lot of good things about that as far as what you just spoke on, consistency with that. And that's what we was kind of, that's what we was afraid of at first versus the Plus. That's why we was aiming for the Plus at first because of that battery range. But been looking into it so far, it look like, that the regular Plaid, like you said, is just as good. So it like it's going to hold up for what we using it for. So, I spoke to you before. We had a backup solution just because we need to keep the charger at a certain level if we like in a rural area where we don't have no superchargers or able to, get a good 110, well, something better than 110 charging. So I think that's pretty interesting though. So can't wait to get my hands on my actual one here soon and to be able to really do it, test it out.
Have you reached out to Josh at Spark Charge?
Spark Charge?
Yeah.
No, not yet. No, not yet.
Okay, because we had a reach out earlier, and he was basically, it's lining up very much of what you want in the rural areas. If you have 1 or 2 vehicles, you can have it be in charge while you're between races, and it's a solution when you're in that rural area. Like if you end up at the Atlanta race drag strip or the Atlanta racetrack, those are fairly rural, but close enough to electric sources, not charging stations. So I will
Exactly. Yeah,
choose
the
Josh AV and his Spark Charge.
Spark Charge would be a good choice. It's a good match because it's silent, it's emission free, and you can charge from solar. So that's a good call.
I would definitely look into Spark Charge for Josh AV.
Yeah.
Put that on the radar.
So yeah, Eddie, late start. Logistics. I tried, and then I should have cut it off sooner, but I was waiting on the food after I'd already ordered. Robert Williams says hello. Hey, Anders. Good evening. Omar is actually in the group over there. When he finishes eating, he's got to head back to his place because he's got some other obligations. That he and I thought that the trip on both of our ends would be shorter than it was.
It's that Sunday traffic.
Sunday traffic. I think his was an extra half hour, and mine was an extra 40 minutes from what we had anticipated.
That's definitely true. Well, Omar's going to do like I do and just be in spirit in the chat.
That's right. And he says better thermal management on the Plaid. Exactly.
I think that's I think when they did I think that it's great that they have organizations out there that are testing the Teslas in real world scenarios like they do the regular ICE cars.
Yeah.
And for us to see a unbiased progression in the state of battery management and thermal battery management, plus a bunch of us exchanging ideas and our expertise in various things. I ain't got no Tesla gear, so bump y'all. But I think
it's not a Tesla show.
I think it's creative
Tesla drivers,
right? I think it's creative when Tesla can take the feedback and they're constantly improving, or Elon's pushing Tesla to keep moving forward. So just the fact that you can consistently, with the Plaid, to be able to consistently maintain without degradation of battery or loss of power, whatever the case may be, to be able to do that is which is the pinnacle of where the EVs are going to overtake the ICE. And
right.
there'll still be a love affair with the ICE. That's your first car. That's the birth that emerged out of the steam, early electrics, all that. But to see that auto, that it's just a consistency, it's going to be that shift that requires.
That's right.
It's interesting to see. But I'm excited for the Plaid for that reason. Exactly. And I just watched Spaceballs the other day. Still fucking me.
So the Fremont-made Model Ys are now including a HEPA filter, just like the Chinese-made Model Ys. And then the next question with that is, what about retrofits? There will be a retrofit available from your service center, but what we don't know is how far back that's going to go, because the HEPA filter is huge. So we'll see where they draw the line and what the process is like. If you've already got your appointment in for getting the HEPA filter, leave us a message, and I'm curious how that's going to work out and what Tesla says. Some of the cars that are shipping to the service centers now for delivery actually don't have the HEPA filter, so they're actually getting retrofits before they pick them up, which is really cool.
So would it be a size difference between the Y and the 3 to get the HEPA filter, since the Y now getting it? So it's the Y, the S, or the Y, the S, and the X.
X, yep. The Y still has a bigger frunk than the Model 3,
which is the HEPA filter
by a little bit, yeah. So
okay.
I could see them doing it, but I don't know if that would leave you with an unusable frunk in the Model 3.
Yeah, I get it. So they can't shrink the size of the HEPA filter. It makes sense. Sense. Because now with the Y having the HEPA filter, you're like, Maria's just a redheaded stepchild. So, it's just a curious thought, but I figured it was in some location where it couldn't be.
It takes up the whole top of the frunk from the base of the windshield to the top of the opening for the frunk. So as long as they don't need that much, like if they've got that much room to work with on the 21 Model 3s, then I can see them doing a retrofit, but I'm curious what they do with it. So I've got one that it's kind of infuriating, really. And then this last night, it got even worse. So Texas, aside from banning the teaching of MLK, they have banned solar panels if they can be seen from the street.
That's not so surprising.
I mean,
Well, the thing is, there's HOAs that will do the same. So this is just.
But that's the HOA. You chose to live there, not.
And they choose to live in Texas. So, I mean, in theory, you can move everywhere. So, once it becomes an exodus of people and monetary, nothing's going to stay the same in Texas. Once those factories start going up, it's going to change for now. But right now, we know it's background money, big oil, just
car dealerships
like that. So like that, going through the process.
Virginia went the other way. If your HOA is blocking you from having panels where you need them, they can't stop you. And they can try, but they're breaking the law if they try. So,
hey, let me ask you this. That's in the list. I need to see that. I must have missed that one there because
I have it under W2F. It's Tyler, Texas.
Okay, yeah. But see, out here where I'm at, I mean,
Yeah, that's a good question. What if you already got them?
I got like 50 panels. All over the house. But
can you see them from the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably grandfather day.
I hope they grandfather, because if they go the other way, then they make you take them down. Then I'd be charging the city to take them down.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, especially after what they did to you this past winter, where they couldn't even keep the lights on. You got power walls, you were ready to go.
And see, we was, like I said, our house is the good neighbor. We was giving energy back to the people that couldn't have it.
That's right.
Producing our own,
Were you in the part that shut down, or were you in the part that kept on?
It shut down for our neighborhood. Our neighborhood went out for maybe 2 hours or so.
Oh my goodness. That's not so bad.
Because I found out that our side of the neighborhood is on a central grid, like it's connected with the hospital.
Oh yeah. So, that's what I did. I'm on the line with the hospital and the fire department. So little priority.
I'll look into that though, because I don't see they say why.
Let me see if they gave a reason other than just Texas. Small town Texas. I think this might be like the one in North Carolina where they think that the solar panel is eating the power of the sun, and that it's going to be dark if you have panels. I'm not seeing a reasonable reason.
I guess that's just the geek side of me. I like to see solar panels on homes.
Me too.
I always was infatuated by it. As it started on being popular, I like it. So I guess that's the tech side of it.
Yeah. And Cal solar earners have no rights. What? Seriously? Hey there. So, yeah, that's kind of high for 8 panels. I think my whole expansion was slightly more than that. Wow.
Yeah, I'm running the 50
How about the Tesla? Oh, that's a great question, Anders. The Tesla roof isn't solar panels, and if you see it from the street, it doesn't look like panels. That might be a good loophole. I like the way you think. And
now, if they're willing to work with me on that, get my roof converted over to a solar roof, I'll work with that.
There you go. Yeah, I'll make it look pretty, but you gotta work with me on this conversion. It's a great question. Let me close this. Tesla in Canada is showing October delivery dates for Model Y. So it looks like the Model Y is sold out in Canada for Q3. That's good and bad. It's good that the Tesla's selling cars, but if you wanted one like now, well, you gotta wait.
Patience.
Yes. So there's a new EV air conditioner refrigerant that's set to extend the EV range by up to 50%. Bring it on.
They just keep getting better and better. It's your antifreeze is getting better, for a better term. It's getting better.
Yep. The refrigerant.
Yep.
So they are claiming an additional 124 miles on their test car, an EV with a range of 124 miles will be able to cover an additional 62 miles using Dakin's new refrigerant. They're a Japanese air conditioner manufacturer, and they expect this to be able to go on sale by 2025. So just like the batteries, we'll see it when we see it. Hopefully, it happens.
We'll see it before.
Okay, that's what I expected. Yeah, it scared me. I was like, "What do you mean they don't have? They have more rights?" Yes, absolutely. So Virginia is starting to be that way, and hopefully they continue. So that's cool. So by 2025, oh, I'm echoing down. Did your headphones come out, or did your volume go up? So Tesla Cybertruck is rumored to be behind a $400 million camera order from Samsung. And the way they phrased it was so weird. Let me pull up the exact verbiage for you. The way they phrased it was Samsung Electromechanics was known to have won the company plans to launch a. How did they phrase this? I'm sorry. It was on the big screen last time I saw it. Samsung Electromechanics was known to have won a $435.7 million deal to supply camera modules. It's the largest EV maker. See how they worded that? The largest EV maker. The company plans to launch a new EV, which gives drivers a rear view through a camera equipped on their car, as the model does not have side mirrors. EV has more than 8 cameras for self-driving purposes. So that's got to be the Cybertruck, because you don't need that many for the Roadster. I mean, you need the cameras, but you don't need that many cameras for the Roadster as far as like quantity of units, because there's gonna be less Roadsters. And the only other possibility is the semi-truck, but the Cybertruck is their priority over the semi-truck. So the way they phrase that, unless they meant some EV maker in China, but the large EV makers in China are making budget EVs that don't have all these extra cameras and do have side mirrors. So deductive reasoning, he says this is Tesla, and like new cars coming out that need them like that would be Cybertruck and semi-truck. It could be both, but they said model, so I'm guessing Cybertruck.
If it's going to be the
What do you feel
Cybertruck,
about that?
if it's the Cybertruck, it's definitely going to be something that puts it, I want to say decades, or like 30 decades futuristic ahead of it. I think putting this many cameras is going to what gets it past safety regulations, so that you can initially say you have enough cameras to compensate for that mirror, which makes sense because let's be real, with mirrors we're still doing side swipes because there's stuff in the blind spots. If your camera can make that blind spot disappear, then in theory it should be safer. And with them investigating all crashes, since Tesla had crashes, they can take the scientific data ahead and be like, look, regardless of what happened, if they were looking in the mirror, you're not going to see it. So I think that the shape they designed it purposely was to say we don't need the mirrors, because as long as it looks like a regular car, Lightning, R1S, R1T, it will always have those mirrors. So therefore, it needs enough cameras. Now, for them to not have it is a good thing. That means Tesla's planning to make, well, the largest EV manufacturers planning to make them by the millions. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think they could get it. If they can get that PlayStation chip, I think they can get it.
So there's actually a point there. They said will not have mirrors. The semi-truck we have seen with mirrors. We haven't seen a Cybertruck with mirrors. Also, they have case studies that they can use from Europe where Audi and somebody else have models without side mirrors for sale. Pardon me. Sorry.
Bless you.
Yes, thank you. But if I do that, then it'll be loud again. It'll be louder than before. Because it goes to 11 when you turn on the bioweapons mode.
Never get tired of hearing that.
Yeah, bioweapons.
So on that part right quick though, I can't remember which guy. Some guy video I was watching on YouTube. He was breaking it down about how Tesla do things, and he set the trend and just follow along with the screens, doing away with the AC controls and all that. Like I said, we get adapted to it. That's even
Yeah,
going to the yoke wheel. It's just we're gonna get adapted to it. Missing stocks, removal of the rear mirrors. That's gonna be a game changer there. Like I said,
nice.
they just take the initiative to do it and make it work. Think
That's
about it
right.
now.
Quick question on the Plaid, and maybe you can answer this for us. Will it have the still bioweapon defense mode available?
It does.
Oh,
It's
so
a Model
not
S.
only
All Model S's have it.
okay, I just
Well,
made Plaid's
since they
changed a little
introduced
bit
it.
though. So not only will it
Since
be
they
the fastest
yeah,
sedan
since
ever.
they introduced it and made premium standard, every Model S has it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. You don't know. Tesla removes things without telling nobody. So
they do that too because their Model 3 and Model Y are on again, off again with whether or not they have auto dimming exterior mirrors.
yeah.
Um,
So it was
so
just a
could
random question because it never got mentioned during Plaid. Most
yeah
people just assumed that it stayed there. So
could somebody share screen on the Bright Drop article?
what
The
article? What
GM supplier.
you got the link? Let me see.
It's in the document.
I didn't get the document.
You got the document. It's the same one.
Sorry.
Which article was it again? I'm trying to see if I got
The German supplier for GM.
One moment. That was sent.
Yeah, Robert. I'm glad to see that they are strict about driving, but sorry to hear that your dad got a ticket on that. I wish we were more strict about driving here. Ever since we started our soft shutdown, we've had some shenanigans.
Is this inside EVs?
Yeah,
Supplier to build the first batch.
yeah, that one.
Okay, got it. Oh, those drop vans. Okay,
All right, so then share the screen.
I got it. It was a quick search.
Okay, see, I'm about to get with you. You kind of coach me on how to get it to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Laptop. I could be prepared better for you.
There we go. So this article is about there's a GM company called Bright Drop is supplying GM the battery lease trucks. Did it go? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. Oh, come on.
Still there?
Okay.
I got the little circle. I got the other.
So that's something else. That's about the Olympics.
Oh, it's following my keypad. There it is.
Yeah, but it's you got to reshare the tab to do that.
It's going to reshare the tab. All right.
You got to reshare the tab, yeah. So basically, what GM had promised was that they would have these trucks that would then, after they get where they're going, they would actually deliver these motorized crates that would then drive to the final destination. And come on, share. There it is.
There we go. I had to click the right icon. Got it.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Robert William. I can't put that one on the screen because then YouTube will take me down. Yeah, so this was an example they gave. So basically, FedEx or any other courier would come through and they would post up in a central location. They'd open the side of the van, and then all these smart crates would load down onto the curb, and they would go to the final destinations. And it's a unique concept, and I think it could work.
Yes, it definitely can work.
Yeah, I don't know if any customers are looking for that in particular, but everything we can do to electrify everything. So
I
next
got
up,
on this one. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
You have to excuse my color commentator right here.
That's okay. So Tesla is filed for making the General Assembly 4.5 line, which is in the sprung structure, the tint. They've applied to make that permanent. because they were actually operating under a temporary license, and we'll see if they get it. I don't see why not, and it's been working for them. So this would make the expansion of the factory an additional 64,000 square feet, which is really cool. And at least, because right now they've got. I think you really zoomed in on me. Oh man! So right now, until Austin is open, they're going to need it because they got to make Model Ys, and why not use a 10? All right, so
Go ahead.
I've got a article about spy shots on Volkswagen. If one of you guys could pull a picture up on that.
The spy shots on Volkswagen?
Yes. So, 10 years ago, it feels like, might actually be 10 years ago, Volkswagen unveiled the ID Buzz, their modern take on the Volkswagen minibus. And people have been waiting and waiting. And Eddie knows. He's always telling us about how all of these manufacturers are constantly coming up with things they want us to see and then not following through. So it looked like, based on the number of years that we've been looking at this Volkswagen Buzz, that looked like it wasn't going to happen. And now we see some spy shots of what looks like production intent. And it's actually, instead of the passenger van or the camper van with the swiveling chairs and all that, it's a cargo van. So it's not quite what we were looking for, but it'll do the trick. Were you able to find it? It's under the Tesla article.
I found another.
Well, I got them right there. That way you gotta search for them. Let's see.
So that's the bus we're looking for.
That's what they wanted us to see.
Okay.
And then, very faithful to it is the one I put in the article.
Okay. Give me a second.
This works.
And some EVs, of course.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Oh, okay. It moves. I don't know why it changed on me when I rotated it, but that's what we got. Let me see if I can't go back. There it is. So it's a cargo van, but you can tell that they are actually very faithful to the one that Dan just showed us, the prototype. And the prototype actually did work. I didn't realize that at first, but it had a speed limit of like 15 miles an hour because the tires that were on it were custom handmade by Hankook and they weren't street rated. So if you drove faster, they would just melt. And it's not something you want in a car you're driving. So what do y'all think about this one? I'm thinking I've been looking for something that'll make a good EV camper. All right, so we got another Tesla 420 story. Let me open it up here. So Tesla panels were running at 390 to 400 watts previously, and now they're at 420 watts for the Tesla Solar. Not the roof, but the panels. Which means that you can use less panels. So if you have a smaller roof, you can still get the power you need. Or if you have shading or obstructions such as skylights, vents, etc. They're 20% efficient. So some folks were saying that that's not the most efficient, but it matches other leading manufacturers. So I don't see what the problem is, unless it's people complaining that stuff isn't perfect again. That's all that I can think of.
It's not going to be.
Let's see here. Sorry about that. Stop ringing. Yeah, they don't look that great, but from the front, I can see that it definitely is what they promised us. It doesn't look as cool as the demo, and I'm hoping that's just because it's a cargo van, and that the final product will be something like what they showed us, but better. But as Elon always keeps saying about other people's concept cars, it's unlikely. It was the hippie culture that made the VW buses cool. You can't expect that now, eh? Well, nowadays certain things are legal certain places, so I think it might make an easy comeback. But also now that there's a lot more of the outdoor culture with folks, overlanding and car camping, that this would make a nice little RV, one that you could do yourself or that you could get outfitted. Like if I could get a VW Buzz from Airstream, why not? Winnebago, yeah, do it. Because right now they're using diesel buses, and again, we want to electrify everything, or at least take the carbon out. That's the only way I know how to electrify it. All right, so next we've got a fully electric tugboat in the U.S. set to sail with more than 6 megawatt hours of batteries.
Is it a tugboat?
All right, tugboat, 6 megawatt hours. That's a mess of batteries. So Crowley Maritime Corporation, they've announced this tugboat is going to serve in the port of San Diego and be the first zero-emission tugboat in the U.S. Not the first one in the world, mind you, because we saw a couple of them in Europe. I don't know that they had megawatt hours of batteries, though. That's what it's going to look like here. I think. Well, no. The most I've seen so far advertised was 600 and 700 kilowatt hours. Yeah, 600 and 700 kilowatt hours. Because they were not tugging; they were just either passenger transport, ferries, or other various moving themselves. They weren't moving other boats. So I think that's pretty cool. There was a photo of Rivian in Compass Yellow, which I thought was cool, and then we got more Rivian news. It's a video of them painting the Rivian in a new color, Compass Yellow. But then, I don't know where it is on the list, but then we found out that the Rivian is going to be delayed until September. Yeah, I did have it in there because I titled it in the document. I titled it, Eddie was right. At least for now. And if you ask Eddie about the Rivian, he's going to tell you it's not happening. And so they're proving him right further again. So that's unfortunate. I've got a couple folks that are ordering one, and I can't wait to see it. But
keep getting pushed back.
It needs to come out for me to see it.
Right. So you saying the goalposts keep getting moved back and
yeah,
back and back?
He was supposed to get it in June. Then he was supposed to get it end of July, and then because he wasn't in the first batch, he was in like the next batch. So that moved him to August. And so now the first batch is in September. So he might get his this year. We'll see. I hope for him because it's the way to go.
All right.
So Purcell sent us this picture of us at the unveiling of the charging station. See me, Omar, Dawood, those are the ones that you guys know. Okay, back to the show. Sorry. The Tesla Model 3 and Model Y continue to lead in U.S. EV registrations, which is good for them, good for us. Because, like I said, electrify all the things. Let's see how many they say here.
Well, the crazy thing is, I reached out to my cousin one time, and he's one of the only family members I know that has an actual electric. He has a Model 3. We were talking about something. He's like, it's the best selling car in America right now. I was like,
It
yeah.
was for a minute, yeah.
Well, he was talking to me as if I didn't know it. I was like, yeah, I know, but when did you get a Model 3? Was
Oh
more
yeah.
my question of it because I wasn't aware of South.
Car was trying to shut off on me.
So yeah,
Can't have that.
it was more so figuring it out.
So the registrations rose 95% over 2020.
That's dope. Well, that means more people
Yeah,
are
Eddie
buying
says
it, so
exactly. That's a good thing. Eddie says the Rivian looks cool, but it's been a joke forever. See, as I told you.
they got to stop adding stuff to it. If any,
I thought that they were almost ready when he started showing off the camp stove and the deliveries and the. It's frustrating.
well, see him showing off the camp stove is one thing. That's been there. It's you can show off things. It's just when they released the patent, I was like,
and showing it off. She's like, "Hey, here's how you clean it, and here's how you take it apart, and blah blah blah." So it was like, it wasn't salesy. It was more of a like for the owners.
Yeah, more like an actual thing.
So that's right. That part.
I completely understand.
So Electrify America's Boost plan will double their network by 2025.
Oh.
Well, Electrify America right now is right up there with Tesla as far as supercharger, DC fast charge deployments in the States. I think even in Canada, but I think that's called Electrify Canada, so I don't know that counts. So, no, it is. So they're expanding the U.S. and Canada stations to more than 1,800 charging stations with over 10,000 individual chargers. So that is cool. They're starting to do like Tesla and claim sites rather than claim charging plugs, which charging plugs themselves is not as useful because if you got 50 plugs at one stop and then 2 at another and then 1, it's Robert Williams says he's going to walk up to where the new supercharger is. Be careful. Especially with all that violence and stuff that's been going on in your area. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Dan. All right, so this is a picture of their plans. Today is on top, and then where they want to be. So they are rapidly approaching the supercharger deployment as far as coverage. Again, I mean, handles do matter, but you don't want to advertise just on handles. Handles matter when you're in a town. You want to make sure you have enough plugs for everybody there. But if they can't even get to the town, then that's not as important, is it? Okay, let's see. SME experiences full send in the Rimac Navara. So that is an exciting car. Did we already talk about the Rimac and Bugatti? Was that last week or was it this week?
I think that was. It wasn't. I don't think it was last week.
Okay. Yeah. So if I didn't mention it before, Rimac is taking over Bugatti, and was it Porsche? Porsche is going to retain a small portion of control. So SME was out experiencing the Rimac Navara, which when it becomes a production car, it will actually rival the Model S Plaid and beat it in some places. But that's okay. Roadster's coming out. More competition. All right, so the 2022 Audi e-tron GT is on sale this summer and is expected to cost over $100,000. Go figure. Well, Dan's back.
That just started from the dough? That's that price just starting from the dough?
Yeah, starting at $100K before incentives and taxes. So it features 20-inch 5-spoke double alloy wheels. I'm not going to read all this. This is an advertisement. If you like Audis, buy it. If you don't, get something else. So I think this is their version of the Porsche again, because that's pretty much what Volkswagen Auto Group's been doing. It's just rebadging the various versions of. I just got passed by an i3. they've been rebadging the Porsche Taycan in various ways. So, hey, like I said, electrify all the things, more choices. And speaking of Volkswagen Group outlines a new auto strategy through 2030. The company will go electric and expects to profit more than previously anticipated, they say. They have a new plan of transformation into a software-driven mobility company. We'll see what happens because they didn't do so well on software so far, and they got to improve that. What more can I say about that? Let's see here. Y'all any thoughts about Volkswagen? All right then. So Volkswagen wants to be more like Tesla, enhance the customer service experience, they say. Well, Tesla could be more like Tesla and improve the customer service experience, I'm just saying. They have created a new position called Chief Experience Officer, dedicated to improving the customer experience, both in service and ownership. So they definitely could improve ownership at Volkswagen. But I can't. It's plaid. Wow. I'm sorry. Here's Dawood. All right. Let's adjust this without dropping the mic. All right. Oh, there he is. Okay, so you can hear us. So now they just need to be able to see you. And then we got this mic. Okay, so you can hear us. Okay, now turn that down so we don't echo.
KC.
Yeah?
You inspire me, man.
Thank you.
Well,
there we go. Okay, so now you got both of us here. This is Dawood. You may have seen him on the intro and outro under channel members. All right, so we were just talking about Volkswagen. Oh, you heard it. So what do you think about the Volkswagen Chief Experience situation?
I didn't hear all of it.
So they want to be more like Tesla, and they want to have a better experience.
Volkswagen wanting to be like Tesla and having a better experience. I missed too much of it to speak directly to it, because we were just finishing up lunch where we came from.
For a minute.
Right.
Yes. So I think anything they can do to improve their experience is a good thing, because right now the folks are having an issue. Did you see that plaid model I drove by?
No, we just left the restaurant. I missed the plaid.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was trying to turn the iPad around and I couldn't do it in time.
It should have been at our event earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, is Volkswagen doing anything more to improve their over-the-air updates? I mean, that's the main thing.
That was what we had the previous article. They were claiming that they were going to improve their software experience. They want to become a software-driven company. And I said, well, they need to work on their software. So this is a good opportunity. I'm going to see if I can't move this to the dashboard too. So the Model X has a big windshield but a short dashboard.
I think we're fine there. That'll stay it.
It won't stay there.
No, it's gonna fall.
Oh, there we go.
All right, you got something. Okay.
Perfect. Now you can put the microphone up here so you can hear us. All right, give me a sound check, David.
Testing.
Yeah, there we go.
Tesla.
So EV battery makers are competing with Tesla for a 4680 cell contract. And what that is about is Elon keeps saying, hey, give me your batteries at a reasonable price. And so they're trying to prove that they can do the work, and they want that contract. So you've got quite a few companies, Samsung SDI, LG Energy Solutions have both developed 4680 samples and sent them over to Tesla for evaluation. And if Tesla likes what they see, they might pick one or both. Cattle has also sent in some battery samples, which is interesting because LG Chem already sends batteries to Tesla as a supplier. So I'm curious what they'll be doing, why they're using a different side of the company to do it. That's unique. At this point, it seems that the 4680, not that it can't be produced, but rather they're not yet available in large enough quantities, which is what Elon keeps telling us. Like, hey, we got them. They ain't ready yet. Tesla takes legal action against the China driver who alleged brake failure. Remember, we were talking about the young lady who hired what we might call booth eye candy, trying to draw attention and get folks to think that the Teslas didn't brake very well. And then we had the case where like the police weren't allowing Teslas on certain highways, and parking guards weren't allowing the Teslas into certain parking garages because they didn't want to be responsible for brake failure, which was bogus. Tesla apologized. Basically, they saved face. Oh, Omar's leaving. They were saving face, and then they got the folks to apologize, but now they're suing. So I wouldn't cross a company that had such a healthy legal team with false allegations. If I knew them to be true, or if I thought them to be true, and I had some evidence to back it up, maybe. But I'm not going to just lie on them and hope that it works out, because I don't expect that it will. What do you think, David?
As far as I understand, the logs have shown that there was no phantom braking in that particular case. In all the cases, exactly. All the logs have shown that the phantom braking is not a thing. So I'm not sure what is her motivation to keep pushing at the Tesla this way.
She's like, hey, he stepped on the brakes and he ran into the car, and Tesla's like, well, when you press the accelerator, it runs into things.
That's what happens when you press it. That's what accelerators are for. Just make sure you're not pointing at something inanimate.
I don't understand why she doesn't understand the concept, or she just cannot believe that her dad is a bad driver. And I mean, I've been a bad driver occasionally. It happens. You have bad days. What more can we say? The Mustang Mach-E rear-wheel drive POV review after spending 10K miles with various trims. Did I mention last week that everybody in the Mach-E China group converted to Model Y reservation, Model Y standard range, after the Model Y standard range became available? Yeah.
That I didn't know about. Did you guys talk about the recent Sandy Monroe teardown of a Mach-E?
Yeah, that's ongoing, and it's pretty cool. Like he just showed the coolant system. He found that there were 22 kilograms of coolant alone in the Mach-E, and it was 9 kilograms in the Model Y.
Yeah, way less.
Just in coolant.
in coolant weight.
Yes. Then he showed off all the various hoses and pumps and brackets, and then like you've seen the Model Y on the stand, like it was this nice tidy package.
Right. But it just shows how you have different silos of people working on different parts of the car, and you build this one part, and now in order to make the next part connect, you got to make a tube that goes around it and under it.
Yes,
and in order to make it all connect together.
And they said this is the best they've seen other than Tesla. So it's like, if that's what's next? Right. So our friend Kyle Connor got a hold of the rear-wheel drive Mach-E. Check him out later if you're interested in the Mach-E. I mean, it's a solid car. It's not for me. He's actually got that one under his name rather than out of spec performance or just subscribed to his channel. I didn't realize he had a personal one, so I just subscribed to it. Hey, there's us. All right, so let me stop being distracted. Close this. And Tesla Giga Berlin critics are once again defeated as the German court rejects their arguments. They wanted urgent action, and the court said no because they're making stuff up. Not the court, but the greenwashing, astroturfing group.
Astroturfing things.
Yes.
I wish you could turn and see this Tesla that's coming up now.
Oh yes,
The
Kathy's.
iridescent
yes,
wrap. Beautiful.
it is. I should have brought my plug-in camera. That's what I should have done. So, let's see. Robert Williams says, everything on the Model Y, it's still not Mach-E is here. God, you put them down. Not the uh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Alpha. Hello. Hello.
Like you froze up.
Yeah, just a little bit. Same side. Yes. Same side.
So they were trying to get Berlin installed again, and the court said that they didn't have merit for what they were trying to do. So that's good. I don't understand this environmental group that doesn't want electric cars. What are they? What is their? The only thing that makes sense is when you consider that they might be
Against
funding by I don't know, German oil, German coal, or just German automakers. That's
German automakers.
all that makes any sense. Yeah. Hey Dan,
Yes.
I thought you were talking to somebody else in the room.
No.
So the court says their decision is final, so there's no appealing it, thankfully. I'm gonna you can unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm already unmuted. Is that muted on your end?
Can I? I don't know.
I'm already unmuted.
So of course I can't hear the rest of the panel. So you
Yeah.
can tell me when to jump in.
Okay. So the yellow is who's talking. So right now it's me, and then okay, yeah, I got him. Dan was talking to somebody in the room. He said, "Oh yeah, okay."
I got it. I was doing
All
something.
right. So yeah, so a lot of folks are speculating that oil companies and German auto manufacturers are behind this situation. Nope. All right, so he's unmuted himself, but I don't see him. All right, so Tesla profitability in Ireland doubles with the Model 3 taking center stage.
As it rightfully should.
Is my camera frozen? Or
Yes, the camera's out. It's just out.
we still got signal, right? Yeah, we still got 3 bar.
The
Or is that
audio.
me? I got
No, it's just a little.
Yeah, so the Irish division of Tesla is €1,000 for the year, ending on December 31st, 2020, which is up from 300. That's good. All right, my camera just went out. This one was fun, but you can't see me. Squamish County, Washington, they have themselves a Tesla Model
Why? Let's see.
Y in police livery. It's actually gone into service. Are you able to share that photo? Since I don't have a picture all of a sudden.
Give me a second.
Turn off my video, turn it back on, maybe that'll help. You're unmuted.
More exciting to go with Tesla, or at least EVs.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. Less maintenance costs, less that much.
Right, exactly.
Look at how many.
All right. Sorry about that. More kids. I guess we have to wait until he comes back in a second. It's gonna give me some time. It's gonna give me some time to bring up these articles in a sec.
And are these on the? You say it's on the OneDrive
Uh,
on the Messenger?
he sent me mine on Messenger. I done stole the work computer, so I'm having to finagle these or send them over. All right, this will give me a chance to get a hit. Let me be right back.
Okay.
All right, everybody's still with us. Just give us a second. We're experiencing some technical difficulties, so we'll be right back.
Show. All right.
We're back at it. Yeah, I hear you. On your mobile studio.
Oh, I see what happened. The car picked up but it got real quiet. I don't hear anything anymore.
Can you still hear us?
I hear you.
Okay. I can hear
Are we
you.
echoing? Are we echoing?
No, not on my end.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do this.
Oh, your kickstand's way back there.
Yeah, kickstand's kind of short. Oh.
Yeah, no better.
All right, so what I want to do next time I go mobile is use a laptop. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Now I'm echoing.
Now you got an echo.
Okay.
Now you getting an echo now.
There we go. All right, so now I have 2 cameras. And then if you can pick that up, then Dawood will be on there as well.
Hey, happy hour.
Just like old times.
Right?
Right?
All right, so this camera is not functioning, whatever it is. Broke mine. Ah, the other problem with that is I don't know what my articles are. So I should be able to.
We are in a Model X mobile studio.
Right.
I figure out how to broadcast YouTube.
I think this is Casey's first one out on the road too.
No,
Right.
it's not. It's just my first one without a computer.
Oh, see? Now we have a quick adjustment.
He's over here hustling.
Yes.
It's nothing like doing it live to see that really good effect.
Okay, so I'm going to refresh this again, but since Dawood is here on the mobile, this should not kick everybody, which is
But
good.
this is actually pretty cool. So it's my first time meeting Omar, Casey, Purcell in person. They're a little taller than what they look like on Zoom.
Yes.
But no, these are really cool guys. He invites me to come on to the show, so I'm super happy to be here.
Definitely. All right, so we talked about Cybertruck. We talked about the tugboat, Rivian with their bait and switch. Got it. Allow. So apparently, if I change the camera, then it freaks out.
Okay.
Okay, so I should be able to add my.
Let me change.
Well, you guys can see my dashboard.
We still got the wood on our end.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, so let's go on to the next thing then, because I'm done messing with the camera on my end. Oh yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Close that. That should work. And then, yep. Perfect. So if I had one more phone, then we'd be good.
We do.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Can we do it? Do I need to download an app or anything?
No, you don't need the app.
That's the web page.
This one is looking up my nose a little bit, but that's how you guys are used to seeing me anyway.
That's right.
That's perfect.
On the road driving.
Let's pick this.
Oh, I didn't say hello to Dan and Marcus. What's up, y'all?
Oh, it's good. It's good. You out there meeting everybody in real time, so that's good. That's good.
Trying my best.
So I'm gonna switch to where I can actually access everything to help Casey on the backup a little bit better. When I did one computer, nothing transfers over because I'm not sending anything. So let's see if I can do this the right way. We're both on the fly doing this.
Okay, so I just sent you a link to Messenger that put you in the room.
Mhm.
Then I just gotta mute it when it comes online.
Okay. So, why is this not-
Sorry for all the technical difficulties, guys. But this is stuff we're learning for next time. Yeah, click that,
wasn't there anything?
and then I should be able to open.
Just copy.
Yeah, copy that, and then open up a browser, Chrome, and then open that. Okay, so what were we last talking about? We talked about Volkswagen, talked about the battery cell makers competing for business. Tesla takes legal action against China driver. There we are. Talked about the Mustangs, Tesla profitability in Ireland, and I should be able to share the screen now that I've got this. Open this. Oh, no, I can't. Because it opened in Edge, I need it in Safari, share Safari tabs.
Let me get yours a second.
All right. Oh well. So that was the picture of the car, but oh no, we didn't show them because the phone was acting fool. Oh yeah, go to this one. There you go. Let's try again. Oh, sorry, I went too fast. Okay. What's your name? All right, and then when you hit video, it should ask you again for video. Sorry. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so turn that volume down. Okay, it's muted. Perfect. All right, so we're good now on that one. And then if you re-allow camera, it should then turn on your camera.
Where? Let's see where did I do that? That's
When you turn it on again, it should ask for permission. Maybe it won't refresh it again.
okay, because I blocked it.
You blocked it. Refresh it, and it might do it. All right, so
Exit, go back in.
yeah. What is this one? This one is. The Tesla Powerwall production shortages. Okay, we talked about that. Not much to say about it, really. I mean, we're in a global chip shortage. It is what it is.
Shorter is always better than more. And the warehouse full of it, nobody ordered it.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, so having it actually a shortage is a good thing. That means the demand is there.
Yeah.
So
All
that's
right. So Ford Norway responds after 6 Mach-E units overheat due to regen braking issue.
Oh, that's interesting.
So after about what they say, after about 2 miles, it overheats and has a problem.
Our friend of the show,
Is it working?
I wonder how he'll take to this. Sergio, our friend of the show, Sergio. I want to know how he'll take
Oh, that's me here.
advantage of this one.
Oh, but I told it no camera.
Well, yeah, there's 2 of you. There's one of you with a camera.
It's because I blocked the camera.
You blocked it again?
No, it never gave me a chance to
I thought I saw you on it before.
No, I think you saw me on that one.
Oh, that might have been what I saw.
Because I'm here.
Oh, let me.
And I can't turn my camera. Maybe I'll hear video settings.
There you go.
Yeah,
Let's take a video. So who knows which camera it is?
Resolution.
Oh.
I don't know. I hit that block.
I think it's because you blocked it. Yeah.
Block it.
I don't know how to unblock on the phone.
Oh wow.
Well, if I turn this sideways, would you be able to see
wait.
stuff?
Let me see real quick. So I've done it on the phone.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you can find the instructions. So, little tiny tugboat saves the planet. That might be the same tugboat. Let's see.
That's interesting. Once you start getting to the heavy machinery that can still do the weight capacity, that's going to be impressive. So if you can have a cruise line ship that can run on an electric or something as tough as a tugboat, say those the fireboats that have to put out fires on the sea. Once you get to that level, it's kind of nostalgic for ice to be trailing. That's the goal. If you can reach something to where it produces equal to higher capacity from an actual ice machine, it'd be great.
Yeah, so this is the same type of what we spoke about earlier, but yeah, it's important to electrify all the things. They're talking about, it sounds like you have a fan or something that's got a buzz. I don't know if it's something hitting the blades or whatever, or if that's just the noise it makes. Yeah, we hopefully fix the echoes. Are you still hearing them, Eddie?
No echoes on my
Okay,
end.
good. I think that might have been while we were turning on all the phones. All right. So Ford says they'll address that overheating issue. And then Ford also did something we didn't understand. They say that people miss the smell of gas, and they are making gas perfume.
That's really weird. It's really weird because it's not to say that you have to leave gas entirely. It's as we've spoken about it. It's not a zero sum game. I don't plan to get rid of my 99 F250 just because it's significantly one of a cash vehicle that I bought. So it's not that I miss the smell of gas, but if I wanted to smell it again, I can go back to that video and smell it. I can always. Here's a funny story. I was at a Costco getting gas. I'm still on ice, and behind me a Model 3 pulls up, and I'm like, "Why is a Model 3 in the in the line for the gas station?" The crazy thing is that the owner was trying to get a gas can full of gas for his lawn mowing equipment. So whereas we think we just have all electric everything to include our yard supplies, he was still on gas. He was still on petroleum for his lawn mowing equipment. And it's funny because I was sitting there like he's really going to pump gas. Yeah, I thought it was a rich rebuild because I was like he's really going to pump gas into this Model 3, but then he pulls out this gas can. I'm like, oh, yeah. Mind you, this is a little after the gas shortage. So I don't know what's going on when he's behind me. And, Costco and the bulk sales stores always have cheaper gas. So that's where I normally go. But to see this Model 3 there, and I'm talking electric type information with him, and he's just coming out with a whole gas can. And it was funny thing is because he said the Model 3 was the cheapest electric he can get his hands on. And so it was interesting to see that paradox of irony, to be able to see him getting gas, but saying that the cheapest vehicle that is one of the best selling vehicles electric way in America now. So that's a funny thing when talking about this, that they need the gas smell.
What I always thought when before EVs were like really easy to get a hold of, I always thought that the people who like the smell of gas were people who sniff the chemicals under the sink.
Here's the weird thing I noticed too. There are some newer model cars, ICE cars, that will shut off if the revolution falls below 1,000 RPMs. And it's mostly
because it's hard to maintain that process.
No, there's no idling. It's just it shuts off as you turn the car off, like complete shut off. And go ahead.
Like a lot of cars idle at 600 or 800 RPM, so it just sounds like they're idle. If it's below 1,000, it's just off.
Yeah. No, it completely shuts off like you turned the car off.
Yeah, it sounds like their idle is 1,000, and so if it's below 1,000, it just turns off. Just like it stalls, like every other vehicle has a minimum revs.
I've never heard it turned off before. Like there's no hum. Like the. Are you
saying auto stop, or are you saying like it just fails to
auto stop? Auto stop. That's it.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, it's an auto stop, and it's so weird. I know for most.
I got it. It's a stop start.
It basically is what it is. It's an auto stop, and to me, the auto stop makes sense because a lot of schools are having no idling areas, so they want you to cut the engine off. However, if you are not looking up, you got.
Well, it's not just schools. Like in a lot of places in Europe, if you're idling, you're gonna get a ticket.
And see, and I think that's what it is. They want to cut and paste the car across the world, minus taking your steering column and shifting it left and right. But it just seems weird to me. It's still weird that you're on a ice that has to be shut off at idle, and it's like just go for an EV. Like, stop fighting it. It's weird to me to have that process happen. It's strange to say the least to have that idle stop. Very strange.
Did you get the camera?
I think so.
All right. So Autoblog is talking about how they were able to get the F-150 Lightning pricing so close to the actual truck. Oh, what happened to my screen? Come on. Come on. Play nice. There we go. I heard you doing. There you go. Show them straight. I don't see a picture though.
I don't see a picture yet. I figured out how to unblock it.
Oh, excellent. Did you unblock it?
I did hit
You might have
allow.
you might have to pick a video again.
Okay.
I think that was the video 1 and video 2. so they were explaining that the way mostly that they were able to get that the BMW i4, they were able to get the pricing so low was they put their volume first. They planned what they wanted to do and then they went after it. Kind of like how Tesla did. Like they didn't like look at Starlink. There's that mood.
It worked finally.
They like for instance with the Starlink. That's not Tesla. That's SpaceX. But
Tesla adjacent.
Musk. they were able to set the price of the Dishy McFlatface at $400, even though originally it cost them $400 or $4,000 to make it. Now it costs them closer to $1,000, and they're continuing to lower the price. I lost chat. There it is. Robert William, I haven't seen that yacht in particular. I've seen a couple of solar yachts, but not the one you're speaking of, I don't think. If you could send me a link on it. Yeah, so basically, like I said, Autoblog's got that article if you want to look at it, and it was an interesting read. Musk says that Cybertruck could be a flop.
Oh, I heard about that one. But before you get so far away from Dishy McFlatface,
Yeah,
I don't know how much politics we can talk on here,
a little bit.
but
Just don't cuss.
I won't cuss. But I know, with unrest in Cuba,
Yeah.
they're shutting down the internet, and
Yes.
and Biden says he's going to do whatever he can to get the internet back on.
Yeah.
And I just had this thought: what if they flew over Cuba and dropped and just like dropped some of the dishes, and people could get them and just connect to
That would be cool.
and connect to Elon's satellites to
Yeah.
turn the internet back on.
One thing I learned is that they operate each Starlink division as its own separate company. So, like, if you have a house in Canada and a house in the U.S. and you try to move your Starlink, it doesn't move. Not just because of the cell locking, but like if you literally say, "All right, here's my new address," you can't put a U.S. address in the Canadian one.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to get a whole separate dish and account. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the Cybertruck could be a flop issue?
That's something he said from the beginning.
He did.
That if people may not like it, it just may not be a lot of people's liking. He says, we'll make a different one later.
Exactly.
I don't think that's good. First of all, I don't think it's a flop. I mean, he's got so many orders.
Exactly.
The thing is going to sell, and I think as more people start to see, how well it performs, how well it does, there'll be even more. It's just like with the other cars. They're weird looking, but once you get to love them,
That's right.
And with the way they designed it with the folded metal, it has to be unibody design. I don't think he can make a conventional looking truck with the way they're trying to put it together.
Not at the price he promised.
Not at that price, right?
Because he promised us 39, and we saw what happens when you make a nice curvy car. The Model 3 could barely touch that 35 with the timeshare pitch. So to do that with a bigger vehicle with a bigger battery without making it cheaper to make would be tough to do.
I don't think it's a concern in that my kids could play the latest video games if they prefer Roblox and Minecraft.
Yes. Yeah, Dan likes to call it the N64 truck because it's polygonal. Yeah. Yeah, you sure can.
Me and my guys are talking. My big thing is for the tri-motor version, as long as they can hold up to that 500 miles of range, that would be good for me. I want to get one of those to pull my enclosed trailer.
Yes.
And that would, as long as it can hold up to that, that would be a good game change, especially when I start traveling and moving all over all over traveling. So,
You have a plaid Cybertruck pulling a plaid Model S.
so as long as they can hold it up, it was a big deal. It was a kind of a disappointment at first. I had we had our mind on that Plus before they canceled it, mainly because of the battery. That 520 plus. So
You recommend him?
I had an order in for the tri-motor, and I had to just ask. I don't tow anything,
Right.
so I changed my order to the dual motor. But then I just got a feeling I'm going to regret it. I'm going to wish I had those extra miles, the extra range.
See, I wanted a vehicle that could do everything that my Model X does, except for the Christmas dance, and not be slower.
And better.
Well, I don't know if
And
it's better or not.
that's the Cybertruck.
It would be the same speed as this vehicle.
What's going to happen with the door handles? Do we know?
Yeah, that was another one we're coming up later. So Elon said that, confirmed again, that the Cybertruck won't have door handles. And the way he described it, like he said that the car will recognize your face and then open for you. The way that he used the verbiage to make it sound, it makes it sound like the car is going to have self-presenting doors, just like my Model X. So, like, I can push a button right here on the screen and open Dawood's door. Don't fall out. I'm going to close it again. I can close it again. So, if they have that with the Cybertruck, then that's everything I want. That's from a vehicle. I don't need the back doors to be special. I mean, it's fun. It's great for baby seats, but
my concern with the doors is that with climate change and the way the heat is going everywhere, what is it going to be like on a 100-degree day walking up to a stainless steel truck and trying to touch the door handle to get in?
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, that's why they got rid of the door handle. So hopefully that was part of his thinking.
Right, you got to burn your fingertips just to get in the car.
Oh, don't do that.
That's a good point there.
Yeah, especially little ones, because they got sensitive finger pads.
Right.
They gonna put some kind of special coating on it. I don't know.
I guess so. Something.
Well, if it is self-presenting, then it doesn't matter.
Right. Just get in. Don't touch your doors.
Yeah. Hit your brake and it closes it, so you don't got to touch it ever. It's nice.
Interesting.
Google search for consent link. Send it to me, one of the other channels you got for me, and I'll take a look at it later, William. So there were some pictures of a plaid Model X with 22s that were spotted with the new wheels. I'd share it, but my sharing is broken. Sorry. Let's see if I can't.
You said 22s?
22s. Oh, you might be able to share it. You got the document there.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. What it was in the live messenger.
So I see what you're saying. Let me figure out how to reshare it.
Once I get with you on that, I have it organized on my laptop.
All right, so I'm gonna copy the link. Yeah, there you go.
That's
And I'm gonna send that in private chat on this.
Okay.
I think, if it lets me. Nope, that didn't work. So let me switch over and message it to you real quick. There you go. All right, so in a minute, Marcus will put up the Model S Plaid with 22s. And while we're waiting on that, Car and Driver did a race with 11 electric cars for 1,000 miles. And it wasn't really like a speed race, although there was that component in it, because at the end of the race, the Model Y unplugged early and and beat the Model 3 because by the numbers it should not have done that. But the Model S took the trophy, and let me see if I can't get the rundown.
I think the top 3 finishes were Tesla.
Yeah, it was Model S, Model Y, and Model 3. The Model Y and the Model 3 were both performance, and like I said, the reason the Model 3 didn't beat the Model Y was because the Model Y, you can't really say cheated or stretched anything. They just literally just took a risk that they might not make it to the destination in time. They were running on sparks, running on static. So who was after the Teslas? Do they have the chart?
So for this race, it was 1,000 miles.
Mhm.
So but it was different brands of EV.
Yeah.
So they were all tasked to charge at whatever charging station that works for their car.
Yes.
So the Teslas could charge at superchargers, and others have to charge at whatever.
Exactly.
But Tesla's going to win every time.
Pretty much, yeah. So the Model S Long Range Plus did it in 16 hours and 14 minutes, and the loser, the Nissan Leaf, did it in 32 hours and 57 minutes. The biggest detractor to the Nissan Leaf, aside from its short range, was that the Nissan Leaf Gen 2 can only fast charge once per day. So after your first fast charge, you're done.
How do you make a car that can only fast charge once per day?
They didn't put any cooling in it.
It's too hot.
It's worse air cooling than the original VW Bug.
Oh wow.
There's no fan, no nothing. It's just
It's just got to drive.
yeah.
Hey KC, I have the links. Which one is it? I see it is dated for today's date, correct? That's the phone.
Yeah, today's date, and it'll be the one about Model S Plaid with 22 spotted.
Let's see a lot of links there. Let's see.
Yep, and then they excluded charging between midnight and 8 a.m. because they did stay the night at hotels, which is fine. That's how a lot of people do a really long drive like that. That or they'd swap drivers. So they had one driver and one navigator. One of them was really smart, and I watched their video dissertation of it. They decided they weren't going to wear shorts and they weren't going to run the air conditioner. I wouldn't do it that way, but it was smart, since it's a race. So they had a Model S Long Range Plus, Model Y Performance, Model 3 Performance. They finished within 5 minutes of each other again because the Model Y was running on static and was thinking he might make it, and he did. They had a Mustang Mach-E 4X. I'm guessing that's the mid-trim. Porsche Taycan 4S, Kia Niro, Audi e-tron. This is also the order they finished in. Volkswagen ID4, Volvo XC40 Recharge. Is that a plug-in hybrid?
The Volvo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember. The Polestar 2, which is an EV, because the Polestar 1 is a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and the Nissan Leaf Plus. Wow. That's all I got to say to that is wow. Let's go back to the stream chat. Some kind of silicone padding. Do you see my flex rims? I didn't know. All right, so while Marcus finds that, the Boring Company Ontario, Canada Airport Loop in San Bernardino is now a twin tunnel system. So in San Bernardino, they in Ontario, Canada, not Canada, Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada. They were getting a single tunnel, boring tunnel, rather than so it would actually switch off. It would switch off, and then they did the math and determined that it made more sense to just kind of keep two tunnels, one going each direction. And so they've upgraded before the digging started, so that will actually, it won't look like a retrofit. It'll look like it was built that way because it was. Then there's also the fact that if you lose a tunnel for some reason, say a car breaks down and blocks the tunnel or whatever, you don't have to immediately go and tow out the offending vehicle. I mean, you should, but it won't block everything while you wait for it to happen. You can just reroute all the other cars to the other tunnel and then do single direction on them. And since they're going to be autonomous, they'll be able to handle it a lot better than us humans do. But things just flow better in full duplex. All right, so this is going to be the Model X Plaid, I believe. Yes. Look at that. With the new 22-inch rims. If you click on it, it should get bigger. There we go. That's what I want. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but if I found a way to make it happen, I might switch. I might.
That is nice.
So, Tesla registrations in California surged 85% according to second quarter data, which it matches up with what they told us, doesn't it? Well, that's exciting. As a Tesla shareholder, to know that they're selling more Teslas.
Yes.
All right. So the Biden administration is pushing for instant permits for solar, which they feel would make it easier to get your solar if there's less roadblocks, less red tape. I'm inclined to agree. And as most of us here have solar, Dawood has solar.
Absolutely.
Marcus and I have solar. Omar is driving, but he's got solar. Yes, more solar. Make it easy.
How is this going to work? I mean, so much of these the permits are on the local level, though. I'm
Right.
not sure how the federal can help, but anything that can make it easier, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Hopefully, it just means that they kind of force it.
Mhm.
All right. So I see video from my screen here again.
I don't
Let me
see
see
why
if I
not.
can't change the camera. Yeah. Maybe cool down.
Hey, can I show
Yeah,
some
hold
while
on.
can I show some while you're looking at this?
I'm back. Yeah, go ahead.
Pack, baby.
I don't know if you can see a real clip, but hold on. And I love this. Like right now, we got some good sun now. I'm at 100%.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I'm doing my part. I'm putting back on the
Cleaning up the grid, baby.
You know?
Yes.
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either. So the Tesla's built-in cameras capture the remarkable event of a Model X surviving an actual tornado. Is that one that you can share?
Okay. Yeah. Which one was that again? I'm sorry. Which one?
Tesla built-in cameras capture a remarkable account of Model X surviving a tornado.
How far that link is, so I can kind of get it fast. Is it like middle or let's see.
Yeah, it's about in the middle. Oh, it's at the bottom actually.
Let's see. And what was the title again on that one?
Tesla's built-in cameras capture a remarkable account of Model X surviving an actual tornado.
There we go. No, that's not it. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Coming up here. Let's see.
What are you looking for?
All right.
Just another one.
Okay.
Is that it right there?
Let's see. Show on stream. There we go. Yeah, that one. So this is a Model X that took a direct hit from a tornado. You can see that it fared a little better than the Highlander next to it. But the owner said that that everything coming from the other camera was much worse, and that every panel on the vehicle was scratched and all the glass was scuffed. But it survived. His wife was in the building, and she was fine. They lost a lot of houses and property, but everybody involved in the story made it out all right. I don't know if they had any injuries, but they didn't lose anybody to it, which was a plus because these things don't always go so well.
Definitely not like that.
Yeah.
Model X's are heavy.
They are heavy. Yeah, you saw in the video the Model X didn't move an inch.
That's what I just want to say. Other vehicle like this over there rocking. That one like it didn't even move.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, what about the Corolla? It didn't move, but the Corolla was in the path of the building, so it had a little bit of shade, wind shade.
But the Highlander just disappeared.
The Highlander just slid over 2 whole parking spaces immediately. She's lucky that she made room, man. Her vehicle would have encountered some damage. So GM says they're going to expand their Ultium 360 program to commercial fleets. That was, I believe, a charging subscription. More charging is good. More electric cars is good. Do it. Toyota Panasonic's battery joint venture is going to halve their costs by 2022. So within a year, Panasonic says that they're going to cut the costs in half. We'll see. Like Eddie says, let me see it on the road first. All right. The Everati and Super Performance team are going to build an all-electric GT40. You got a picture of that GT40 there?
Coming up now.
Loud motorcycles. So while he pulls that up, basically they're going to take a electric. They're going to take a GT40 and make it electric. You get faster this. So this is the classic GT40. Electrify all the things. Porsche claims that they've sold almost 20,000 Taycans in the first half of 2021. Not bad. Yeah, if I get it Speed Racer colors, that'll be sharp.
That is nice.
Go Speed Racer, go. That's beautiful.
Oh my. Black, brown.
I like that they didn't put oversized wheels on it too,
Right. Right. That's good. That's good.
because they fit. Those are the ones that belong on it. It looks good. I don't know if they're stock or not, but they belong. Looks good outside. I don't know why they didn't put that as the head picture. That dark, that dark picture in the blank room. Oh, it's a right-hand drive, isn't it? Cool. Well, that makes sense. It's in the UK.
You have cooling seats.
I have cooling seats.
How do you have cooling seats? Sitting here looking around.
Yeah, you put it on 3. You'll enjoy it.
I am.
Yeah, let me put that back on 3. I don't know how to get down to 1. There we go. So
He's got cooling seats.
I do.
I don't have cooling seats.
He's just got heated seats. 5 of them, right?
None of my X. The Y does have 5.
Okay. So the X has 2 heated seats?
Only the front ones and the X.
All right. Let's see. What is this? Twitter status is. Hey, welcome back, Dan. I know what this was. This was talking about the FSD subscription. I buried the lead, didn't I? What do you think about the FSD subscription, Dawood?
That is a good question. Concern. I was asking about that earlier because I have enhanced autopilot in one of the older computer, I think hardware 2.
Yeah.
And wondering if I just go ahead and do 1 month of the subscription where they upgrade my computer for free.
Yeah. They won't.
They won't do that.
So if you have a hardware 2 computer or a hardware 2.5 computer and you want to subscribe to the autopilot, or sorry, the full self-driving software, you'll have to pay $1,500 and upgrade your computer.
Right. Now, I just got out of I had a rental for the last week when I was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was full self-driving.
Nice. How'd you like it?
It was nice. It was
Yeah.
very nice when you're on all of these roads. There's so many back roads you have to drive to get around.
Yeah.
And you put on full
Yes.
self-driving. It stops at the stop signs, stops at the red lights for you.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, why is it not turning? And I forgot that's only in,
That's later. Yeah.
that's only in beta.
Yeah.
You guys have that yet?
3 weeks.
2 weeks, right?
No, 3 weeks.
2 weeks is okay. So yeah, so I'll consider it maybe for my wife's car or even for my car. Just,
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to pay the $1,500.
Right. But hers already has the right computer.
She has the right computer, so maybe we'll consider it because we have a couple of road trips coming up to just try it for the road trip and see how we like it. But it would take. I got to do the math, but it would take
4 years and 10 months.
Thank you.
Or 4 years and 2 months
to do it. If I did it monthly, as opposed to just paying $10,000 right now.
Yeah. But if you have enhanced autopilot already, where the car can do some and it can do navigate on autopilot, but it can't do anything in town, then it's only $99 a month instead of $199 a month.
That would be something, but I have to pay my $1,500 up front to get the new computer.
Yes.
Then I'm at $99 a month.
Yeah, but that's a much easier break even on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see, but I just hate driving my car so much. Her car's so much nicer.
Right.
Her car's faster.
So another question that comes up with this is, when does it make sense to switch to the full self-driving subscription? If you're going to have your car for the Plaid is back. Get a video of that. There's the Plaid. Sorry, I understand it's distracting, but
it's a Plaid.
How many Plaids are there on the East Coast? Shoot, if I didn't have all this kit, I would have just started driving.
I'll get the wheel. You
just chase him down, yes. But so yeah.
I can't say that made me feel, because I'm glad I made the decision right at the last minute on my configuration after the order was changed. I took the FSD off. Took that 10 grand off. I said I can I can invest that in something else at a time, and I like that because doing the numbers. I mean, if I just need it for like a month and just doing so versus
there you go.
10 grand for
Yeah,
I like that.
I was kind of hoping they would do like the cell phone with a 2-year commitment. They'll do the computer for free or something like that, but they didn't.
Oh,
we bought more Tesla stock with 10 grand.
Yeah, the retrofit. If you need the new computer and you don't already have it, then you have to pay the $1,500 to get it.
So mine should ship like that, right? Already, right? The hardware.
Yeah, yours will ship like it. You're fine. But like my car, if I didn't buy it up front, I would have had to pay $1,500 to get the hardware 3 computer. But because I already had FSD on the car, because it's only going up, it didn't. I mean, eventually it did, but not only up. It went down for a while. Mm-hmm. I would have had to pay the $1,500 if I subscribed because my car didn't come with it.
What would you say? What would you say the big difference is compared to what you got, versus that? What would you say?
None.
That stands out to you. With the
none.
Version 2.
Yeah. The only difference is I don't have a monthly bill. Yeah. Okay. So if you're going to keep your car longer than 4 years or 30 months, if you have 2.5, then it makes sense to buy it up front and then not subscribe to it. If you're in a lease, all of the leases are shorter than any of the payback periods. So at that point, it would make sense to subscribe if you didn't get the car with full self-driving on it, because then you're going to lose money if you buy it. And then Tesla's going to keep it. And then when it comes back to Tesla, they're going to turn off FSD and when they resell it to whoever. So it would be a big waste of money to buy full self-driving unless you buy it on your lease, because then you're only paying the portion of that price that you used. Whereas with, say you lease the car and 10 months in, you say, I want full self-driving, and you buy it. It takes 50 months to pay back. So don't do that. Subscribe to it instead, because that's going to be more cost effective. The other cool thing about subscribing is if you change cars faster than 4 years, you can then turn off the subscription on the first car, turn it on to the next one. One thing that I did notice is Tesla doesn't give grace periods. So if I have subscribed for the first week and I don't want to forget and then get charged again the next month and I turn it off, they're going to cut off my full self-driving that day. I don't know if it's going to be that at midnight or if it's going to be instantly, but that next day you won't have full self-driving, and they don't prorate. So that full $199 will have been on that 1 week, and then you turn it back on again, you get to pay again.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'd be
cancel at 11:59
on the last month.
Last day of the month.
Exactly. So that's a little bit of a tip and warning right there. Is if you're not going to keep it, like say you're going to go on a trip to another continent and you're gonna not need it for a couple months, turn it off while you're on vacation. Don't turn it off early. And if it's only a couple weeks, then just leave it on because you're not going to get a prorate, and then you're going to get to pay again, turn it back on. So if you've got a 3-week vacation, you're coming back the last week, then just leave it on. Just saying. Yeah, $199, Robert William. Yes, I love cooled seats. That was one of the things that made me interested in switching to the Plaid. I know it sounds weird, but Tesla hasn't done cooled seats too often. They had it in the P100D with Ludacris, the original one. No, the P90D with Insane Mode, and then it went away. They came back with the P100D with Ludacris, like this car, and then it went away. And it came back for like a week on the Raven, and then it went away. And now we have it on Plaid. So at that point, I'm afraid that by the time I could finagle it, there's a Model X coming up, but by the time I could finagle it, that it won't have cooled seats again. So Model X, was that 75D?
75D.
There we go. What if you had a crash for the self-driving, or what? If it's for the self-driving, then hopefully your insurance is willing to reimburse you for it. So like my insurance will reimburse me for it because it was on the window sticker. But if I bought it after the fact or subscribed to it, they wouldn't count it as anything but an aftermarket stereo, and I'd be out of luck. If that's what the question is. If not, then clarify and I'll answer that. What other questions do we have about the full self-driving subscription?
Let me ask you this. Do you think, well, so it's just, I guess it'll be just in the app, directly through the app, you think? Just real?
Yes, directly through your Tesla app. If you're on the latest update to the app, it just appeared last night.
Yep.
So I didn't even get it till this morning. Like I looked last night, and my option for upgrades and everything went away. And service came back before I went to bed, but I already had service scheduled. They're going to recharge my AC and figure out why it keeps overheating. But it's doing fine now.
It's pretty good now.
It could be better, but I had to turn it down for the so I didn't overwhelm you guys with the noise.
And maybe using too much power to go to these cooling seats.
No, these are awesome. Feel great. No sweat on my back.
No back sweat.
Hey, you said your
Yeah.
AC? Your AC?
Yeah, AC.
Was it running loud? It was louder than normal?
Oh, it stopped.
Oh.
In 2019, it stopped, period. Whenever I did that video on the Fun in the Sun test box, that day it quit for a couple hours. It decided that it didn't want to put air through the front vents, but it wasn't not cooling. It just wasn't cooling as strong as it could. And but it wasn't like it was too hot, because it was like a 90-degree day. It wasn't the last time where it quit completely. It was over 100 degrees, and that one they chalked it up to an update, because right after they did the update, the air came back and never left again, even in the same conditions. Whereas before it would go out, and then after you let it sit for a minute, they were saying that basically the compressor was overheating, so it was stopping to protect itself. But that one went away with the next software update, and then this one, they don't know what happened. They said that they were going to send a mobile tech to my house, and then they called up and said, no, we want you to come to the service center. And their date is going to be in the middle of my vacation, so I'll bring it back when I come back. And there was another thing about the subscription. Let's see what they said. All right, so assuming a 60K residual after 5 years, this guy thinks it's too expensive, but I think it makes perfect sense. Elon's always been promising us that the subscription would be more expensive. This does that, right? And I think that's fair, because it's exactly what he promised, which is exactly why I'm upset with the beta program. Is not what he promised. He said only the safest drivers, and then it became like this weird popularity contest. Whereas this, he says, can be more expensive, and it is. but not so much so. Like literally, like there's a break even to the point where it makes sense to go one way or the other, and I think that's a good idea. This person had thoughts about replacing EV with an ICE. I don't know if you can share that one, Marcus.
Which one was it again? I'm sorry.
Thoughts about replacing EV with an ICE?
Okay, got
So
it.
this person was, it's a Twitter link. This person was concerned about replacing their EV, and they decided they would consider an ICE. And so they had some questions they were going to consider to do this. And so their first thought was, where's the button? Show me the button. There. So he's thinking of replacing his electric car with a petrol car. And let me just switch so I can read it. He has some questions. He heard that petrol cars can't fuel at home while you sleep. How do you refuel elsewhere? Is this several times a year? Will there be a solution for refueling at home? Because with an EV, you refuel at home. He says, what parts do I need to service and how often? The salesman mentioned a box with gears in it. What is this? Will I receive a warning with an indicator when I need to change gears? No. Can I accelerate and brake with one pedal as I do today with an electric car? That one you might be able to do with a manual car, but you won't be able to bring it to a full stop. That's for sure. It was just a nice, really redone bug there. Do I get fuel back when I slow down or drive downhill like regen? They assume so, but I need to ask to be sure. The car I test drove seemed to have a delay from the time I pressed the accelerator pedal to the time it began to go faster. Is that normal? We currently pay about 1.2 pence per mile to drive our electric car. I heard the petrol could cost up to 10 times as much. So I reckon we will lose money in the beginning. We drive about 20,000 miles a year. Let's hope more people start using petrol so the prices go down. Is it true that petrol is flammable? Should I empty the tank and store the petrol somewhere else while the car is in the garage? Is there an automatic system to prevent gasoline from catching fire or exploding in an accident? What does this cost? I understand the main ingredient in petrol is oil. Is it true that the extraction and refining of oil causes environmental problems as well as conflicts and major wars over the last 100 years that have cost millions of lives? Is there a solution to these problems? I may have more questions later, but these are the most important ones at the moment. Thank you in advance for your reply. Oh, and I mean, when you think about it, all these questions we get for people getting ready to switch to EVs, or as new EV owners, people start forwarding you these scary looking articles from wherever. If gas was a new thing today, I mean, how would we look at it? I mean, gasoline has an MSDS, a material safety data sheet. It's carcinogenic. It's poisonous. You don't touch it. and how would that go if everybody was already driving electric and a couple people decided to start driving gas? Aside from being really great at making heat, how would you look at that?
We just met. I mean, we were just at the EV event today, the Tesla event today.
Yeah.
And Parcell brought a nice couple who are thinking about getting a Tesla. And how long? It's been like 7 hours we've been together. They asked questions for 7 hours about EVs. And I thought, I never asked any of these questions about a gas car. You just don't buy it.
Yes. And they were all very thoughtful, very reasonable questions. They weren't asking any gotchas. They weren't. They just wanted to know, all right, where do I buy it? How do I service it? How do I make sure that when I'm on a road trip, how does it work? And Tesla doesn't advertise, so the only people to answer those questions are owners. And with regular EVs, hopefully the salesman, but good luck. Usually the EV is around back, unplugged with flat tires. Oh, you want to take that for a drive? It's going to take about 6 hours. We got to plug it into the granny lead. Yeah.
Gotta get it ready.
Yes. How about I sell you this instead?
So those are all good points that that people just don't think about when they're looking at the gas car. But for EVs, it's like it's still a new thing. We just forget because it seems so normal to us now that still a lot of people just have not adopted it.
Exactly. Eddie is asking, how, with gas, nobody asks, can you drive it in the rain?
That should be a concern.
I can understand the concern. Gas and electricity don't mix, but at the same time, are any of these major companies foolish enough to build a car that might expose their customers to danger, to then expose them to getting sued by said customers?
You can drive an EV in the rain, and you can charge it in the rain.
Yep, you can stand in a puddle and plug it in and charge it. Well, assuming that you're at a professionally installed station, that the station isn't under the water as well.
But if I wanted to switch from gas to EV, is there a way that I can still keep the gas smell in my car?
Yes, Ford has a solution for you. Call back with the gasoline perfume.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So the Tesla updates website to add HEPA filters to the Model Y production page. So we were talking earlier about the Model Y having HEPA filters. So now when you go to the Model Y order page and you try to buy one, it tells you it's got a HEPA filter. So it doesn't get much more official than that. And yep, so I said Eddie was right about the Rivian. And Pirelli is launching new high-load tire for EVs, where it is about 8% heavier load rating than the existing XL tires that most EVs today ship with, because they need the beefy tires for their encumbrance of their batteries. Because the Model X is what, 2,000 pounds of battery, 1,500, something like that. A lot. and so they're saying that they're going to be more fuel efficient and they're going to hold up to the weight. So hopefully that also allows them to be cheaper. The problem is that they are going to first be seen exclusively on Lucid Air. Eddie, what do we think about cars that don't exist yet? I mean, I think Lucid stands a chance, and I'd like to see them on the road, but why not partner with Tesla or GM or Ford, somebody who's got cars on the street for your first launch? That would lower your costs. It would get your name out there.
I thought Michelin or Goodyear was already supposed to be partnering with Tesla to make a EV specific tire.
I don't know if they're partnering with Tesla specifically, but yeah, I do remember Michelin was talking about EV tire.
Okay.
And then Bridgestone has one already, but I don't know if it's EV or hybrid. But either way, it's designed for fuel efficiency.
But that's the biggest maintenance cost for my car.
Yes.
Changing the tires, once a year. It's a little better now that we have two, we can split the driving between two cars. But it was like clockwork. Every year we need a new set of tires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine is every 50,000 miles because the way I run them. Do you have the big wheels or the regular wheels?
Regulars.
Okay, yeah, me too. Don't know if you saw the first. Yeah, the first EV was a long time ago. EVs are older than gas cars.
Yes.
Rivian's going to be a big Hot Wheels. I heard about saying you have a gas motorcycle. Do you know these things explode? Yes. Yes, Dan. There we go. And then we've got the awesomely weird Alibaba EV of the week. Can you share that one, please, Marcus? This is a funny picture. So my wife told me that this one is not classified as a tuk-tuk, even though to me it looks like it. She even told me the word, and I have since forgotten how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. It's down at the very bottom of the list. There we go. So this is available to you on Alibaba. $2,000. They'll ship it to you, to your door, in a crate or several. I think it'd be good on a farm. It might also be good, like, to deliver stuff short distances. I don't know. I think it looks cool. Ooh, make a camper out of it.
That's an actual EV?
That's an EV.
Yeah, I wonder what the range is. Where are the batteries?
Yeah, do they say the range on there, Marcus? It measures 5 by 20, not including the cab. So you could put a container on the back, a regular equivalent unit, 20-foot equivalent unit. I don't know how much weight it can handle based on those wheels.
Yeah. It's like a pretty large bed, but
Yeah,
once you
20
load
feet.
that thing,
20 feet.
Oh.
I don't think you can fill it up with watermelons.
right?
I mean, it might be too heavy.
I don't see. Hold
4 kilowatt motor. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much weight on it. Top speed is 30. So yeah, I would definitely keep this on the farm.
Yeah. It said it has a sport.
8.6 kilowatt hour battery. So you could run wide open for 2 hours. That's not bad.
Is that a steering wheel in there or handlebars?
That's a good question. Could be either because it's a tuk-tuk. But is that a wheel? It looks like a wheel in me in this picture.
Yeah, it does look like a wheel,
Yeah.
even with a turning assist.
I don't think it's got a turning assist.
Little
Oh, the ball.
balls.
What do they call the ball?
Manual turning assist.
Yes.
Not automatic.
Yes.
I might order this T-shirt.
Right? All right, let's see what the audience thinks about that one. We got 5 comments on that one. Dan says 2K is not a bad price. Yeah, I agree. Glamping mobile, yeah. Except that you got to be able to get it on the road. 15 miles an hour ain't gonna cut it. School bus. What? School bus company saw one on its side on fire. Yeah. So let's see what else everybody else had to say here. All right, so it looks like everybody said their piece. No more questions or anything. So Marcus and Dan's already left. Marcus and Dawood, stand by. I'm going to play a quick clip, and then we'll have our little bit of second part of happy hour. And then everybody else, I want to thank you for stopping through. We appreciate your dealing with my technical difficulties, and see which music we can get for you. We'll catch you on the flip side.